of their timeshare. With an A-plus rating at the Better Business Bureau, customer service is their priority. For a free consultation and a guaranteed solution, 855-551-7066 or go to LoneStarTransfer.com. On this Monday, Americans are divided over Donald Trump and Kamala Harris, but some voters may be missing the big picture. If you vote Democrat on November 5th, you are voting for the most progressive candidate in United States history. That's how committed left Kamala Harris is. The question then becomes, it's not really about her, it's about how the progressives govern. I'll send you to San Francisco. You can take a look for yourself. Come to New York City, where I live. It's a mess. How about Chicago? Unbelievable violence. Baltimore, same thing. Washington, D.C., the carjack capital of the world. All are governed by progressives who don't really want to punish criminals. Kamala Harris is right in that soup. She has never repudiated one progressive tenet, not one ever in her whole political career. She is a machine candidate, and the machine is the progressive left wing of the Democratic Party. Do you believe most voters know that? I don't think they do. But if the progressives gain federal power, what's happening in San Francisco will happen everywhere. Back in a moment. If you own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles, listen up. Car Shield is a low-cost monthly vehicle protection plan now available to you. This protection plan is at an all-time low price. Please call 800-925-7584 for a free quote. Drivers who activate today will also receive free roadside assistance and towing at no additional cost. That is 800-925-7584 right now. That is the Morning O'Reilly Update. More analysis later on.
This hour, the Vic Porcelli Show, brought to you by Connor Roofing. You can count on Connor for all your roofing needs. Visit ConnorRoofing.com. That's CONNER Roofing.com. Vic Porcelli.
Come on, you're Italian. You understand.
Every day is a busy day all of a sudden.
You talking to me? You talking to me?
Tough and smart, and I love Italian, so he's definitely Italian.
At least I have this show to come and talk about it and let some stuff up.
What kind of a show are you guys putting on here today?
The Vic Porcelli Show.
Good morning, freedom fighters. Good morning, Kenny Williams.
Good morning, Vic Porcelli.
How was your weekend?
Oh, it's really good, man.
Come back to work on a Monday and all hell breaks loose.
The weather was amazing.
Unbelievable. Yes, it was. Unbelievable Rock'em Sock'em show today. Plus Liberty the Bald Eagle. All on the same day. We're going to talk to Liberty and to Roger from the World Bird Sanctuary in just a second. That's crap at 9:25. Gordon Chang, I would call him the foremost authority on China.
World-renowned expert.
Right?
Yeah.
World-renowned.
Right.
And we're going to talk to him. He's got a new book, too. We'll talk about that. Karen Kataline, of course, because it's a Monday. And at 10:25, we'll do some other stuff, too. But today, Ken, is a very important day in the space-time continuum.
It really is.
It is.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about that at 10:25. And Doug Blair going to join us. You're going to stiff us? What's the story?
Oh, he'll be here.
All right. That's at 10:41.
The Pledge of Allegiance, brought to you by our United States Air Force and Space Force.
Ken, who leads us in the pledge today?
Listener Sandra D.
Oh, I love Sandra D.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Over 200 careers to pick from in the U.S. Air Force and Space Force. Call Jeremy Jefferson in Baldwin now at 314-295-6834. 314-295-6834.
All right, let's get going with Roger. I'm sorry, what's your last name?
Holloway.
Roger Holloway, originally from New Jersey, I'd like to say. And he is at the World Bird Sanctuary, and he is with Liberty, the bald eagle, who already pooped on the floor. So, But when you're an eagle, you get to do that. Thanks for coming in, first of all.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thanks for having us today.
Kenny and I were in Washington for an event for Colonel Joe Adams and the Washington Guard.
Yeah.
And Liberty was there.
Yes.
We got to meet him then. And that and only one other time in my life have I been in the presence of a bald eagle. And it never gets old, does it?
No, not. I've been working at the sanctuary for 36 years now, and this doesn't get old. This is a privilege for sure.
And Liberty lives there at the World Bird Sanctuary. Yeah,
that's right.
And what's his accommodations? Does he have like a swimming pool and stuff like that?
No, he does have his own indoor perch, his own outdoor perch, water bath. Bald eagles like to bathe, and of course they all need water anyway. But yeah,
is he the most seniority of all the eagles at the World Bird Sanctuary?
He is, as far as the eagles that we handle like this, that sit in our glove and that are ambassadors for their kind. As we've had him since 1992, and he's 33 years old now. We got him when he was a year old.
Wow.
I didn't realize he was that old.
Yeah, 33 he is.
Now, how many years is that in human terms?
That would be generally beyond the life of a wild bald eagle.
Okay.
Birds of prey, like eagles, will sometimes double their natural lifespan in human care. I don't know if Liberty will go quite that far, but hopefully 40, 45 years, it would be a long life with us.
That'd be amazing.
So tell us Liberty's story. He's had a tumultuous life so far.
Yes, Liberty was from Florida, had been hit by a car on the side of the road there and was taken to a rehabilitation facility and rehabilitated, released again to the wild, and the same darn thing happened all over again.
Wow.
I saw a video. I spend way too much time on YouTube just refreshing and watching different videos. And there was a bald eagle who had been rehabilitated, I guess. And he was on a cliff. And it was like, okay, fly away. And he couldn't do it. I mean, he was so afraid to do it because he was in captivity, I guess, for so long. And finally he did. He finally flew. So I don't know. They're just majestic when they fly, when they hunt, fish and stuff, right? Is that what he would do if he were in the wild?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, being a bird of prey, an apex predator, he's going to be hunting for fish most of the time. That's bald eagles are a sea eagle. That's their grouping of eagles worldwide that live around water, nest around the water, and hunt for fish most of the time.
What does apex mean? What does that mean?
He's the height of the food chain.
Oh,
he doesn't have anything preying upon him.
Wow. You're the king when that happens.
No kidding. And Roger, you mentioned that he got hit again. What?
Twice. Poor
right.
thing.
Okay. I kind of missed that, but he was in captivity, being repaired, I guess, cured.
Correct.
And then you let him go, and he got hit again.
Well, the group in Florida, the facility there did.
Oh, okay.
And then the same thing happened again. He suffered injuries to his shoulder. The most critical part of it was the eye injury. It he looks like his eyes are fairly normal, but looking into the back of the eye, you see the retina, the back of your eye, it detaches from the eyeball. Then you're going to lose your visual acuity that obviously these birds have to have for survival.
That's the whole thing, is the eyes, right?
Yeah.
And this happened at a very young age, so he was able to then adapt very well to living around people. You can see he's sitting here very calmly.
That's
and
great, yeah. Oh, by the way, you got to watch on the stream.
Yeah.
Get the cat and hat out of the way there, though.
Oh, okay.
So how do you know it's him? A stupid question. How do you know it's him? Does he have a band around his?
Not a stupid question at all. With birds of prey, we know by the size. And if you're an eagle, the female is going to be the bigger one.
Huh.
And he's from Florida, so he's about as small as a bald eagle would be. Florida eagles are not going to be as large as their northern counterparts, and the females are larger than the males.
You know, my wife is into fish. On COVID, that was her thing. She started fish.
Oh, the band?
No. We've seen fish.
Nice.
Don't get me wrong. We've seen fish, but the female species of a lot of fish are not the beautiful ones. It's the males that are the big fins, and the females just kind of go on. I guess it's the same thing.
In a way, but for birds of prey, it's that the female is the one that's going to obviously lay the eggs and be the one to be incubating them most of the time. And if anything comes by to threaten the security of the nest, well, they're going to have to deal with the bigger, more powerful bird.
Yeah.
And the male birds of prey will also take turn at the incubation. Female needs a break every once in a while.
Sure.
And if you have two different sized birds hunting in the same territory, you're going to get a greater variety of prey. You're not going to deplete one thing or the other.
You're with him a lot, aren't you?
Well, I have been throughout my career.
When you talk to him, he listens. He looks at you and he's listening to you.
He seems like he is, and he seems like don't you have anything different to say ever?
So this is a symbol of America, right? It's the bald eagle, and there are protections for the eagle, right?
Yeah, at the very base of it, there's protections for all migratory birds. Anything that's a native bird here is protected. A robin, a blue jay, they're all protected.
Oh, wow.
Now, that for the bald eagle, there's another measure of protection since 1940, the Bald and Golden Eagle Protection Act, that protects them. So for me to have this bird here, he has to be on an exhibit, an education permit. We have a permit to rehabilitate birds in our hospital that's different. And if we're breeding birds for release to the wild, the endangered species, we have to have a permit for that. So it's very carefully regulated. We have a very good relationship with the United States Fish and Wildlife Service, and they're the ones that regulate and monitor these things.
And if you hurt a bald eagle, that is a felony, correct?
It is a felony, yeah.
Can you imagine?
I love that.
I do too. I mean, but can you imagine wanting to hurt?
There are people out there.
What?
They've shot at them. Even
That's
in
what
Missouri.
You said that earlier.
Well, right. It's not like it was a long time ago when everything was a target. I think people understand that there are laws and they respect nature more, but still, we do see birds that are shot with pellet guns, with whatever, which is obviously really disconcerting that somebody would think of this as a target. It is our national symbol. It's supposed to represent our country, and we don't ever associate this with hunting because hunting is part of responsible conservation. And people that are hunting know what they're shooting at. You can't say, well, I didn't know what it was. Well, then you don't pull the trigger.
Right. Then you don't shoot many deer, right? If you're going to talk like that. So there's a video I always talk about when we talk about eagles. We talked about this after the Washington event. There's a video that I've seen. I think it's in Dubai. And this eagle is on the top of a skyscraper, right? And his job is to fly into a football stadium and land on the guy's arm like he's on your arm. Can you explain the vision of an eagle, of a bald eagle?
Sure. To kind of compare it to our own, if you had the eyesight of an eagle and you put a newspaper on the other outside in the lobby on the other wall, you'd be able to read it without any difficulty.
Yeah.
So that's the visual acuity and detail they're going to see. They have to see the movement in the wild of what they're going after from a great distance. So that's how they do.
So
that.
how did it see the guy that he landed on his arm in the stadium?
Oh, that's pure habit and rehearsal.
Oh, got it. Okay.
That guy was probably swinging a lure of some kind.
Got it.
That made it visual.
Mhm.
And if you practice that a couple times, that eagle knows, hey, I fly over that top of that stadium. He's going to be there. So you have to, it's training and reliability and a relationship you have there.
We're talking to, I'm sorry, Roger, your last name is what?
Holloway.
Roger Holloway. About Liberty and the World Bird Sanctuary. Can you tell me what the kids say, ask you, and the emotion of the kids when they see Liberty down there at the sanctuary?
Well, the kids are just enthralled by it because, this is something that they've heard of. Maybe they haven't seen it yet, and they get to see a bald eagle up close, and they see the eyesight, they see the gaze and the detail really close, and that's terribly meaningful for them. In many of our programs, we also let the birds fly, some of the hawks and owls. And so you see the wingspan overhead. We're trying to make an impression and create conservationists and people that are interested in wildlife for the future by giving them those impressions and that experience.
Yeah. So, how much weight? Like, can it pick up my dog? Can an eagle pick up my chihuahua? Can he pick him up?
Probably not. Your chihuahua's about 7 or 8 pounds.
Well, this one's way overweight, so she's good. She knows.
She's okay.
Oh, then it's pretty safe. Now, here's the thing. There's a lot of myths about that. Eagles carrying away livestock and whatnot. Wow. The truth is,
wingspan,
they can generally lift It kind of depends on the species of bird, but maybe a third to a half their body weight. Now they can catch things that weigh the same or more than them.
Wow.
Because their talons are so powerful, but they can't always carry it away. And that's another thing you can find on YouTube is the eagle that caught a fish that was too heavy.
I
and
did see that, I think.
he decides to paddle to the shore.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's goes to say how how maybe obstinate and resourceful our national symbol is, that he's willing to go through that to get a meal.
Now, Roger, you mentioned about educating people, young people, for the future of conservation, and we actually unknowingly, had like different visits to World Bird Sanctuary and Merrimack Caverns. We camped out, we did float trips and all that stuff. Growing up with our kids, my daughter's a national park ranger now.
Okay.
And she's traveling the world, and she just loves nature. She heard about this. I'm sure she's probably watching on the stream right now. Where can people go? Like what's your website, for example, and if there's a donation area?
Yeah, worldbirdsanctuary.org is our website. There is opportunities to donate on it. So we really appreciate that. I mean, we go on donations. That's how we further our mission. We don't have government funding of any kind. Everything we do is through donations, and people that are interested in our mission. We want to get people involved, come to the sanctuary and see what we do, because we're founded as a rehabilitation facility, and we still continue to do that. We are getting close to 700 birds a year through our hospital of birds of prey, hawks, owls, eagles. We're working with endangered species to try to help them. That's what we did with the bald eagle years ago. They're no longer endangered. So we're moving on to some other
That's such good
endangered
news.
species.
Oh my God.
I know.
Sure.
That is such good news. I love the trust. I mean, he trusts you and you trust he's not going to take a chunk out of your cheek, right?
Absolutely. With Liberty, I can be that at ease with him. Now, all the other eagles I work with, maybe not so
Is that
much.
right?
Wow.
How many eagles are at the sanctuary?
We have, I think 12. I don't always know the exact number. You think I would, being in charge.
No, it's okay.
Do they reproduce?
We don't have any.
in
We don't have
captivity?
any breeding pairs.
Oh,
no,
okay.
no.
Oh, why is that?
Because again, they're not endangered. They're doing well in the wild. So we have many permanent residents in an aviary. You can just see them kind of up close in the aviary.
He's looking at our Trump sign there, so he must be a conservative. So what is the deal with? I joked about this with you in the lobby for a minute. Benjamin Franklin wanted the official bird to be a turkey, and then the eagle won. Is that how it goes?
That is how it goes. He saw the turkey as a very dignified bird, which, when the males are strutting and the tail's out, they have that sort of air about them of superiority. But bald eagles are, again, the apex predator. They're sitting above everybody. They're looking down over everything, and they have that gaze that kind of means business.
Oh, no doubt.
And
Yeah.
So, and also with the founders of our country and people that settled here, they were seeing the bald eagle for the first time because it's only native to North America.
Oh, yeah.
So that's another reason it was chosen. And we work with a lot of Eagle Scouts doing their service projects with us, and because they've done so much amazing work, we bring an eagle to their court of honor when they're officially awarded, and we talk about that. It's just like, hey, guys, if Benjamin Franklin was more persuasive, you may have been going for the rank of Turkey Scout.
Turkey Scout.
Well, Liberty
it doesn't have the same ring to
No,
it.
not at all. Not at all.
Just standing there, Liberty is so majestic. It gives me chills.
When he had
I'll be honest with
when
you.
he had his wings open.
Yeah, when he opened his wing, it was like I got chills. There he goes.
Get a shot of that, man.
That is
Look at that.
amazing. Look at that.
All right, very quickly, and then we got to run. And this is just after the day after 9/11. There's I'm a freak about political cartoons. I love political cartoons. I love that art that they can tell a story with no words. And a guy named Steve Breen drew a cartoon, no words, just a bald eagle sitting on a stool, sharpening his talons, big, muscular.
Oh,
and
powerful.
That's how we look at them.
Well, yeah. Again, they mean business. They're very capable. They don't back down. Something invades their territory, they're gonna be defending the nest, and they're gonna be watching out over what they claim to be theirs. And that's one of the reasons
oh boy.
they're successful when they're nesting.
Roger Holloway from the World Bird Sanctuary and Liberty. I can't thank you enough for bringing this gorgeous, majestic thing into our studio.
Well, my pleasure. I really appreciate having us. If folks want to visit with us this Saturday, we're having our Halloween event for the fall. So it's a really fun time to see. The Eagles will be on exhibit. We'll have some other special things going on this Saturday, and we'd love to come out and meet you.
And go to worldbirdsanctuary.org to find out more information.
Yep, that's our website. Find out all the details.
Roger, great to meet you.
Yep, you too,
Thanks,
guys.
Roger.
Thanks.
Yeah,
fantastic. My God, when he had his wings out,
I know. I got to chill.
It's like an American flag flowing in
Right.
the breeze, you know. We want to get a picture of you in front of our Freedom 13 flag. We'll do that in a sec. Coming up next, though, it's That's Crap on 1019 and 94.1 News Talk STL, number one for live and local conservative talk.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Watch us on our live stream using Rumble, Facebook, and Twitter. The Vic Porcelli Show.
Remember, they're coming after me because I'm standing up for you.
Made in St. Louis for St. Louis. It's News Talk STL.
Hey, thank you very much for taking my call.
News, analysis, opinion.
Yes, I just want you to know what a breath of fresh air you people are.
1019 and 94.1 News Talk STL.
Republican Adam Schnelting is a husband, father, and soldier. As an Army combat engineer, Schnelting trained to fight for us, trained to solve problems, and that's just what he's been doing. As state representative, Adam fought to keep men out of our daughters' sports and bathrooms. He voted to cut our taxes and fully fund our schools. And his tough on crime stance has earned him the endorsement of the Fraternal Order of Police. November 5th, vote Adam Schnelting for state senate, and he'll get the job done for St. Charles County.
Paid for by Schnelting for Missouri, Mike Summer, Treasurer. Getting new flooring can be exciting, or it can be a hassle. To make sure you have a great experience, use Michael's Flooring, like I did. Hi, it's Susie Moore, and Michael's Flooring has become my go-to for quality, variety, and an all-around great experience. They've been locally owned and operated for more than 30 years. Carpet, hardwood, laminate, ceramic tile, natural stone, luxury vinyl, it doesn't matter. Michael's Flooring is ready to help. 3 locations to pick from: St. Peter's, Darting Prairie, and Creve Coeur, or online at igotfloor.com. That's igotfloor.com.
St. Louis's new choice for conservative talk.
Thank you for the opportunity to let me vent here.
Live and local.
Way to be, guys. 1019 all the way.
This is News Talk STL.
I am home.
Talk lines are open now at 314-912-1019. The Vic Porcelli Show.
There's always have been compelling value sets of visions of America. One of those value sets is revenge and retribution.
Made in St. Louis for St. Louis. It's News Talk STL.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for being with us. Boy, I'll tell you what, I'm just in awe of that bird.
I know.
And Roger, too, the way he handles that bird.
Yeah, it was so calm. And the bird was like literally at one point, like 4 inches from his face.
And when Roger was talking, it's like he was really interested in what Roger was saying.
Yeah, he would talk and Liberty would look at him like, I'm okay, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
I am bad, right? I mean business. So voting no on Amendment 3, for you and Kenny and me, and most rational thinking people, it's a vote no on 3 because we don't want to kill babies. So I've been seeing a lot of those vote no on 3 yard signs.
I've been seeing more now, yeah.
Right?
Mhm.
And if you want one to put in your yard, you can get one at the St. Charles County Republican headquarters in St. Charles or the St. Louis County Republican headquarters in Fenton. Get one, put it in your yard. Let's save babies, okay? All right, the rest of the way today, Doug Blair, supposedly, going to be with us. Karen Kataline, we have her on 2 days a week now. Mondays are fun, fun because she's with us. Gordon Chang, the biggest expert on China there is in the world. We'll talk to him. He's on with Larry all the time too, by the way. And right now, it is time for everybody's favorite game show. It's called That's Crap.
Welcome to That's Crap. It's the game where we find out if it's the truth or if that's crap. Here's the host of That's Crap, Vic Porcelli.
Thank you, Jim Modulin. Thank you, studio audience. Hey, ladies. Oh, my God. Thank you, ladies, so much. All right, so Kenny came so close to making me spit up my coffee because when we play that, that's Jim Modulin's voice, who is our great creative
He's got
director
a great
here.
game show voice.
He does, but Ken mimes the words. He like mouths the words like Gary Owens on Laughing, and just cracks me up. I don't know why today was funnier than other days. So we find out if it's the truth or if that's crap. Our contestant today, you might not remember because we haven't seen him in a long time.
Yeah, you're right.
Right?
Wow.
A lot of people might have forgotten that there's a guy named Joe Biden.
A forgotten president.
Forgotten president. And for just 18 cents a day, you can help this forgotten president. So Joe has been on the show many times. He's never won.
No.
And he's been on a ton of times.
How many times? I mean, like probably hundreds at least.
Probably. And usually when you go on a game show, you lose. You
leave.
You go, you get a copy of our home game.
Move on with your life.
Right. But we give him a chance because one of these days we hope he may win the big grand prize on That's Crap. So, Joe, this may be your final time, buddy. Good luck.
We're making the biggest investment ever to deal with the climate crisis. I know you all know there's no climate problem.
What?
I know you know that. That's why I spent a lot of time in Arizona, New Mexico, California, all through, flew up and down the state with your governor and those wildfires. I know they just happened. I know you all know there's no climate problem.
Ken, I'm a little stunned and taken aback here. Joe says, I know you know there is no climate problem. Well, I'll be damned. Joe's a winner. Yay, Joe.
Wow, that's Vic. That's a first.
That's a first
Ever.
for Joe. He never won before.
I don't think anybody's ever won.
Yeah, we
to
had a
be honest
couple of
with you.
winners.
Did we?
Yeah, a
Okay,
couple
good.
conservative people that
Oh,
were on
good.
the show.
Okay.
We're winners. But Joe has never won before. And what was that about, by the way? Because a week ago he told us we need our head examined if we didn't think that the floods and the hurricanes were caused by climate change.
I don't know because he didn't. A lot of times when you say something snarkily and you're joking, you come back with, okay, I get it, whatever. He just kind of moved on.
Yeah.
He's like, no, it's not real.
Yeah.
No, all that money you're spending, no, don't worry about it because it's not happening. But then he didn't change. He went on. He moved on to another topic, I think.
So last week, late in the week, we were talking about people saying that climate change isn't real and we need our heads examined. And then yet there are so many instances like when they told us the world was going to freeze back in the 70s.
Yeah, there's a list you can get actually from 1970, or even in the 60s, I think, to today.
Yeah,
it's like over 100 long of debunked climate theories.
Well, you heard Joe say, there's no climate problem. So congratulations, Joe. That's all the time we have for That's Crap.
This is Jim Modulin speaking for That's Crap, a Mark Goodson, Bill Todman radio production.
And this is Vic Porcelli saying, help control the pet population. Have your pet spayed or neutered. Goodbye, everybody. But not your bald eagle, because we want them to populate.
That's right.
Can I just go back just for another minute or so on that eagle?
Yeah.
Because, the bald eagle. We hear about it. Bald eagle, it's the, it represents our country. It's the ambassador, the symbol of our country. But until you're in the presence of one, it really doesn't mean anything until you actually see it. And that doesn't mean anything. That's a terrible thing to say. It means so much more when you're in the presence of a bald eagle.
Yeah. They are everything that we always claim they are. I mean, they just their being, just him standing on his arm over there. It's everything that I always thought about an eagle.
You know what I didn't think of till you just said that? His arm must get tired.
I know.
He's got to hold his arm up for this.
Well, do you remember the woman that was over from the World Bird Sanctuary when we were in Washington and saw Liberty?
Yeah.
She was holding him on her arm But if you'll notice, she had a stand.
I did not notice that.
It was under her arm. It was holding her arm up.
Because it must get tiring.
Well, yeah. If you have 1 pound on your arm for any length of time, it gets heavy.
Yeah. And Liberty weighed 7 pounds, by the way.
Yeah.
So, the symbol of America, and Ben Franklin wanted the turkey. Now we eat turkeys,
right,
for Thanksgiving. There's a video of an eagle catching a fish on YouTube, but it's all in super slow motion.
Yeah.
And that eyesight catches that fish, and then he comes in, he kind of skates on the water a little bit, grabs the fish, and then flies away. And what I just said took about 30 or 40 seconds because it's in such super slow motion.
Right.
But it's such a great symbol of the United States. And go down there to the World Bird Sanctuary, and I'm sure they have shows and stuff, right, where the eagle will fly from one person to the next, right?
Yeah. I'm trying to think. I took the girls there a long time ago. And yeah, I mean, there's so much there, actually, if you just walk around, if you're really interested in wild birds, and if you're into that whole thing, there's a lot of stuff to watch, and it's very entertaining for kids. It's incredibly entertaining for kids, and I think it really does influence them.
Mm-hmm. And educates them.
Very much so.
And I couldn't help but think while Liberty was in the room of our bird, Larry Bird.
Larry Bird.
Who, I don't know why. I tell the story once in a while, but I grew up in a kind of semi-urban kind of situation, and to me, my connection to nature was having a bird sit on my finger. And I don't know why that was, but you see people with a bird on their finger. Oh, that's great. That's nature.
Yeah.
And never had it until Larry. And when Larry was in his cage, if you walk towards the cage, one of us, Jess or me or one of the kids, if you walk towards the cage, he would automatically put his leg up and open up his talon because you wanted to stand on your finger. And then he used to like to get massaged on the back of his neck, and he didn't want to get off. When you went to put him back on his perch, he'd crawl up your arm and sit on your shoulder. He goes, I don't want to go in there. It's too stuffy in there. I want to stay out here with you.
Yeah.
And Muddy, the great Muddy, used to let Larry sit on him, sit on his head, sit on his back.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, they really got along. Okay, who's this?
Sandra
D. What a wonderful job on the Pledge of Allegiance this morning.
Well, thank you for saying that. I wanted to tell you about my bald eagle.
You have a bald eagle?
Well, I can't say I own him, but we have bald eagles around here lately for the last couple of years. And I live over in Illinois, of course. And even last week, we were outside by the grain bin, and there's a big fan. There's a big, huge motor on that thing, and you can hardly hear. And we're trying to talk out there, and we're yelling. And I look up, and there's a bald eagle circling right over us.
Wow!
And he was circling with a couple of turkey vultures, and I've seen that before. I think they kind of
those things are huge.
Watch and see what the turkey vultures are going after, and then they follow them. Like eagles kind of get a little lazy once in a while too. I don't blame them. But the other thing is, the eagle might not pick up your dog, but I had a cat that was attacked by either an owl or an eagle, and it tried to pick it up, and it actually ended up gashing it.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
And so my poor cat had like an inch-and-a-half gash in it.
Oh, no.
And it was during COVID, and I could hardly get it into a vet, and it took days, but he ended up being okay. He just needed some antibiotics and all.
A few years ago. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but we've had... we have even immature bald eagles, and one of them was flying over, and he dropped a stick about 6 feet away from me. I looked up, and this guy's circling over us, and apparently they do that, because they build nests made out of branches and sticks.
Yeah,
that's how they build their nests.
Yeah,
and so when they're young, they play by building.
Oh, got it.
And the cat went over to smell the stick, and it looked at me like, whoa, this is not good.
Right. I'm getting out of here. That's so funny.
So yeah, they're around, and they're resident. They're resident now. They have babies around here, and I know you don't call them that. You call them.
No, it's okay.
But yeah, they're around. So it's kind of neat.
Thank you, Sandra. We always love hearing from you. Your emails are great. Don't think that because I'm terrible at getting back to people that I'm not interested. I am. I'm a terrible person. Kenny's good at getting back at people. So thank you so much, Sandra D.
You're both wonderful people. Thank you so much.
You are. Thanks, Sandra. Appreciate it.
A few years ago, there was Ken, I swear to God, a hawk on one of our back patio chairs. I looked outside and I had to do like the double take, like, what in the hell? And I wouldn't go out. I wouldn't let the dogs go out without me because we had Sweeney, tiny little Sweeney, and Chino at the time. I'm waiting for one of these hawks to come and take him away. I would be devastated for life if that happened. Right?
Oh, yeah. Are you kidding? Sure.
All right. Gordon Chang got a new book called Plan Red, China's Project to Destroy America. I trust Gordon Chang, right?
Oh, yeah.
So he's next on 1019 and 94.1 News Talk STL. Welcome home.
Watch us on our live stream using Rumble, Facebook, and Twitter. The Vic Porcelli Show.
Now, my mamaw died shortly before I left for Iraq in 2005. And when we went through things, we found 19 loaded handguns.
The roughest, toughest, toughest hombre has ever crossed the Rio Grande.
Made in St. Louis for St. Louis. It's News Talk STL.
Tim Jones and Chris Arps in the afternoon.
Monday, what new chaos and crises did Kamala Harris cause over the weekend? Senator Jim Talent joins us at 4:25, 5:25. Red State Headlines with Susie Moore.
Tim Jones and Chris Arps. Weekdays at 4 on News Talk STL.
Are you tired of hard chlorinated water drying your skin out, tasting bad, and ruining your fixtures? Jones Air and Water Treatment has a solution to this pollution. Our Hydratech H2O leaves you with great tasting, soft water at all fixtures in your home with one unit. Call Jones Air and Water at 636-899-1040 or visit us on the web at joneswater.com. You can be a filter or buy a filter. Jones Air and Water, 636-899-1040 or joneswater.com on the web. Call us now.
Need reliable auto service from people you can trust? Look no further than Western Tire and Auto. For over 15 years, we've been your complete automotive repair center, family owned and operated, with owner Dean Kleethermes bringing 30 years of industry experience. At Western Tire and Auto, you're not just a customer, you're family. We promise 100% satisfaction, treating you with the transparency, respect, and honesty you deserve. Visit us in St. Peters or in Florissant. For appointments, call or check westerntireauto.com. Western Tire and Auto, your local automotive experts since 2008.
For over half a century, Joe Bacardi's has been serving up a little taste of Italy right here in St. Louis. Family owned since 1971, we're more than just a restaurant. We're a local landmark. With 4 convenient locations, we offer something for everyone, from our famous pizzas to mouth-watering entrees and delicious salads. Dine in with a glass of wine or grab a quick carryout. Whether it's dinner for 2 or catering for a crowd, Joe Bacardi's has you covered. Visit joebacardis.com and join our loyalty program. Joe Bacardi's, where every meal ends with buon appetito.
Epic STL is always on the lookout for highly motivated, goal-oriented, results-driven people to add to our growing, winning team of sales and content professionals. 1019 and 94.1 News Talk STL is a locally owned and operated venture of Epic STL. Apply to be a part of our creative, fun, and rewarding work environment by simply going to the Connect tab on NewstalkSTL.com and click on Application. Epic STL and News Talk STL are equal opportunity employers.
Attention thrill seekers and fun lovers. Did you know the Midwest's largest wooden roller rink is right here in Missouri? Welcome to Piccadilly Palace, your ultimate family entertainment destination. Glide across our massive skating floor, conquer arcade challenges, put your way through mini golf, and dive into cutting-edge virtual reality experiences. And coming soon, a relaxing bar and grill patio, state-of-the-art golf simulators, and heart-pounding 2-story go-kart racing next to East Central College in Union, Missouri. Plan your visit now at PiccadillyPalace.com. That's PiccadillyPalace.com.
This hour, the Vic Porcelli Show, brought to you by Connor Roofing. You can count on Connor for all your roofing needs. Visit ConnorRoofing.com. That's CONNER Roofing.com. Talk lines are open now at 314-912-1019.
I'm Newt Gingrich, and you're listening to the Vic Porcelli Show on News Talk STL.
So there will eventually not be a need for private insurance because there will be full coverage in terms of most of the services that folks need in terms of access to health care.
The insurance industry is a major employer here in Iowa.
Yeah.
What do you say to those people who's might be looking at your plan and saying, this is going to force me into retirement?
Well, certainly that is not the goal, and that is something that when we talk about transitioning into a new system, there's going to have to be a period of transition. So it would not happen overnight, and there would be an ability then to transition employees into other areas. But certainly, I am in the business of making sure that people are employed. It's one of my highest priorities, which is why I have so many other policies that I'd be happy to talk about.
So to change the subject,
it wasn't part of the plan for people to lose their jobs.
No.
So this is the thing she doesn't understand. If you're going to be the president of the United States, you have to have a second, third level of thinking.
Right.
You know, so she had this plan about getting rid of, private insurance without thinking that people are going to lose their jobs, which makes her a terrible candidate.
Well, just like fracking and coal mining and all that.
Exactly,
We're going to transition you, okay?
Right.
We're going to have you retrained.
Learn how to code.
Like communist China does. We'll just retrain you.
Communist China. Glad you brought them up.
Yes.
Our next guest is the foremost authority on China ever in the whole world. His name is Gordon Chang. He's got a new book called Plan Red, China's Project to Destroy America. Gordon, absolute privilege to have you back on the show. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. And it's an absolute privilege for me to be on your show. So thank you, Vic.
Nobody's ever said that, Gordon.
Thank you.
So you're on the absolute good gold list. Fantastic. All right. So people, I think, even people in government, people in the military, people like Mark Milley, they don't understand the danger that China poses to us. We're just letting things go, right?
Absolutely. What we have is a political leadership, a policy elites. They do not understand China's fundamental assault on the American Republic. They think that we can cooperate with China because there are areas where our interests coincide. Well, unfortunately, the Communist Party doesn't think in those terms. It thinks that it is in an existential struggle with America because it's worried about the inspirational impact of our values and form of governance on the Chinese people. So it believes that it cannot ever be safe until the American Republic is destroyed.
Gordon, we talk about the illegal immigration problem that we have in this country with the open borders, and it's estimated that somewhere between they don't even know, between 100 and 200,000 Chinese nationals have crossed the border into our country. Do you think that poses a threat to this nation?
It does, because we don't know who many of those individuals are. Yes, it's clear that you have family groups. These are people who are fleeing communism. But there are also increasingly packs of single males, military age, traveling without family members. They constitute, according to U.S. Border Patrol, about 2/3 of recent Chinese migrants. And at the same time, we're seeing an increase in the incursions and attempted incursions into our military bases, which now occur weekly. And those weekly incursions, many of them are from China's nationals. And China's nationals are actually coming across the northern border as well, trying to evade detection, which means they're coming here for no good. We don't know the reason why, but clearly they're up here for nefarious purposes.
So part of the plan, I think, Gordon, we're talking to Gordon Chang, who is just a great authoritative voice on China. They're going to plot. They have a plot to plunge America and the world into conflict. So it's not just us. They have bigger plans to what? Take over the entire world?
Yes. Well, Xi Jinping has been trying to impose China's imperial era system, where Chinese emperors believe that they not only have the mandate of heaven to rule what they call Tianxia, or all under heaven, but that heaven actually compelled them to do so. And since 2017, Chinese officials have been publicly talking about the moon and Mars as sovereign Chinese territory.
What?
So Xi Jinping is the most ambitious aggressor in history.
Xi Jinping, well, I think we actually talked about this, and I don't want to talk about it briefly, but to bolster what you just said, that that video of Zhou Enlai, old Zhou Enlai, getting walked out of like a Congress kind of a thing was pretty scary and pretty telling of what kind of guy Xi Jinping is, right?
Yes, that was Hu Jintao.
I'm sorry.
The previous Chinese leader. And this was the Communist Party's 20th National Congress in October 2022. And that was extraordinary because this just never happens in communist politics. There is always behind the scenes infighting, but it doesn't break out into the open. And the thing about that is that incident occurred after the foreign press was allowed in, which means that essentially the Chinese leadership wanted to show the world that Xi Jinping was in command and that he was willing to use any tactics to ensure his control.
Okay, so this is maybe a little controversial. I don't know. Trump seems to know everything you're saying about China. Biden, I remember in 2019, he said, "What do you think? China's going to eat our lunch? Come on, man." Yeah. So he either doesn't know or he's on the payroll, the Chinese payroll, one or the other.
Or he's being blackmailed because we know that he's brought his son Hunter to China while the senior Biden was vice president. That was a time in Hunter Biden's life when he admits it was a very troubled time. And so if the Ministry of State Security of China has video recordings of this, and I'm sure that they do, then the elder Biden probably is worried about what China will disclose about his son, especially while his son has all these legal problems. So it could be money. It could be just being misguided because Biden is just wrong on almost every foreign policy issue, or he is being blackmailed or fears being blackmailed.
So all of those Chinese men, military-aged men who have crossed the border, and you have told us before that they're just waiting for their marching orders from Xi Jinping. I think people need to understand that it's not a military like we may think of with ammunition, but tech, right? Cyber, closing down the water, the supply, the electricity, that kind of thing, right?
Yes, and it's also disease because an alert building inspector in Reedley, California, in the Central Valley, found a secret Chinese biological weapons lab, which not only had 20 pathogens, it also had almost 1,000 mice that had been genetically engineered to spread disease. So it doesn't take much to put it together that you've got these operatives coming across our southern and northern borders. You got mice that can be used to spread pathogens around the United States, and that would occur before China attacks in East Asia. So that would weaken our ability to confront China on behalf of not only our own forces, but our friends and allies and partners.
Donald Trump always says, he has a relationship with Xi Jinping. We don't know, of course, what's discussed in these private meetings between the two when Donald Trump was president. What do you think about the way that he words that? Like, we have a good relationship, but I'm really the king and I own him. That's what he's trying to say? Yeah,
I think that's the message. Nobody can have a good relationship with Xi
Right.
Jinping. He's just, he's not only an aggressor, he is the most dangerous aggressor of our times. He's killed more people, by the way, than any other living figure.
Wow.
So you can't have a good relationship with a guy who wants to destroy your country. Now, you can say, I own him, which I think is what Trump was saying. And that very well is true, I believe. I think that Xi Jinping is afraid of President Trump. He's afraid of the unpredictability of President Trump. But you can't have a good relationship with him, just as you can't have a good relationship with, for instance, Kim Jong-un, the leader of North Korea.
Right. That was a pretty powerful statement you said right there. I more people than Stalin, Pol Pot, Mao, more than all those guys?
Living figure.
Living figure. Okay.
Xi Jinping, he deliberately spread coronavirus beyond his borders once it broke out into the Chinese population. And according to the Johns Hopkins coronavirus tracker, that's 7 million people outside of China died from a disease which should have never left that country.
Wow.
And that 7 million figure includes 1.2 million Americans. We can argue about the number of Americans, as we do, that have died from COVID, but anything above zero is completely unacceptable.
And sorry, God.
No, go ahead.
I learned just recently, probably around COVID time, that we trust China to make our antibiotics here. Couldn't they make that a weapon?
They certainly could. And, they don't even have to try to make it a weapon to kill Americans because they did kill Americans with adulterated heparin. Now, people may say, well, China's quality control has gotten better since then. And that is true because it's American pharmaceutical companies there. But the point is that if China wanted to, it could purposefully adulterate medicines. And in March of 2020, China's regime said it could throw the United States into, quote, a mighty sea of coronavirus. Any country that would do that and say that could easily adulterate our medicines to kill Americans.
We're talking with Gordon Chang. He's the author of the new book, Plain Red, China's Project to Destroy America. You can find him also on X at Gordon G. Chang. Gordon, the Donald Trump, he always says when he appreciates a leader, good or bad. He actually admires certain qualities about Xi Jinping and even Putin. Okay, it doesn't mean he loves them. It doesn't mean he's a sycophant of theirs. It doesn't mean he's collaborating with them. But that's what the left wants us to think. Isn't that true that he can admire them, but at the same time be an enemy of theirs?
Yes, of course. And when one looks at Xi Jinping is the most powerful person in the world today. That's not because he leads the most powerful country. By no means is China that powerful. But it's because we, for instance, have a feckless leader who is not willing to use American power in the way that it should. So, you go back, for instance, a decade ago when Forbes said, who's the most powerful leader in the world today? They said Vladimir Putin. And they said Putin because he was willing to use his power and he was willing to achieve his aims where we were not. So, yes, you can say I admire Xi Jinping because he's fighting for his own country, which is what President Trump says. And that's true. Xi Jinping works very hard to advance China's interests, where we have a political system that advances the interests of all other countries, sometimes in the detriment of American workers and Americans in general.
Why, Gordon, does the world seem to not care or have any interest in the Uyghurs and what's happening to them in China?
That's a great question. And I think it's because they are either afraid of Xi Jinping or they want to bandwagon with him because he has been so successful as a leader. We have ignored a genocide. And that's what it is. It meets the terms of genocide in the Genocide Convention of 1948. And in that convention, which the United States is a party, we have an obligation to prevent and to punish acts of genocide. And the Biden administration, which has actually endorsed the Trump administration's designation of genocide, the Biden administration has done almost nothing to prevent or punish acts of genocide. And that is our shame. You go back to the 1930s, people would say, well, how could we have ignored what happened to the Jews in Germany? Well, it's the same thing. It is exactly the same thing. We are the Britain and France of this decade, to our shame.
The book is called Plan Red, China's Project to Destroy America. Gordon, time goes by so quick. If we could talk again, I'd love to talk about the notion, does America have a plan to defend itself, right? I mean, it sounds kind of scary. So if we could talk again, that would be great.
It would be great. And the quick answer to your question is no.
Oh, my God. Yeah, we got to talk again. We got to finish this conversation. Gordon Chang, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate you.
Thank you, Vic. I appreciate it.
All right. Gordon Chang.
Wow. He knows everything about that country.
And he's so humble about everything.
Yeah, I know.
He really is.
He is.
You know, it's not a privilege to talk to me. You know what I mean?
Well, he's gracious, but the man, he really knows China. He's lived China. He knows everything about China.
Ken, does America have a plan to defend itself? His answer was no. Then what?
Right.
What do we do then?
Right.
So let's get him back on. Hear me?
Yeah. Well, we don't have a plan, but we could have a plan if you had a president like maybe, I don't know, Donald Trump that could create a plan.
I didn't want to say that. I know he probably thinks that.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to, these people call it talk policy.
No, I know.
But he might have said it anyway.
he could have. Maybe next time we'll find out.
Gordon Chang. Yeah, let's get him on as soon as we can. Maybe even before the election. If that's okay.
I'll try.
That?
Yeah.
Coming up next hour, the great Karen Kataline. We're going to talk about Donald Trump's new job, fry cook at McDonald's. That's next on 101.9 and 94.1 News Talk STL. Welcome home.
Whoosh. Jewels on Hampton and St. Louis Hills is paying some of the highest prices on gold, silver, diamonds, semi-precious colored stones, coins, flatware, and fine watches on site. Jewels on Hampton is a premier jeweler featuring Alvanza's jewel art designs with an exquisite selection of diamonds, semi-precious stone jewelry, and vintage watches. Their expert design team can restyle your jewelry to today's contemporary style. They also do jewelry and watch repair. Need extra cash? Jewels on Hampton is paying some of the highest prices on gold, silver, diamonds, semi-precious colored stones, coins, flatware, and fine watches. Bring in your collectibles and clocks and sports memorabilia and figurines too. Jewels on Hampton, 4506 Hampton, just 3 blocks south of Chippewa, and jewelsonhampton.com. Call them at 314-752-5000, 314-752-5000, and jewelsonhampton.com. Jewels on Hampton.
Discover where nature takes flight. The World Bird Sanctuary, nestled on 305 acres of pristine Missouri forest. We're home to over 200 magnificent birds and wildlife. Experience the magic of our owl prowl. Select evenings November through March. Plus summer camps and educational programs reaching 125,000 children annually. Become a bird parent through our Adopt a Bird program or join our Rescuers Giving Club. The World Bird Sanctuary, adjacent to Lone Elk Park. Online at worldbirdsanctuary.org.
NewstalkSTL is proud to have Doug Voss of Safe Money Radio as part of our lineup each week. Doug has been a staple on St. Louis radio for many years as one of the leading financial experts in the area. Doug and Safe Money Radio is on 3 times every weekend, but in case you miss anything, you can check it all out at DougVossSafeMoneyRadio.com or call 844-676-SAFE. That's 844-676-7233. Doug Voss is a registered representative. Securities offered through DHL Securities, LLLP. Member FINRA and SIPC.
Hi, I'm Jen Wallner.
And I'm Rodney Wallner with the Wallner Home Selling Team at Berkshire Hathaway.
Hey, Rodney, how do you sell your home for top dollar?
That's easy. Call the Wallner Home Selling Team at 314-810-SOLD.
What if I want a flexible commission rate?
Call the Wallner Home Selling Team at 314-810-SOLD.
When's the best time to sell your home?
Right now. Call the Wallner Home Selling Team at 314-810-SOLD.
For all your real estate needs, call the Wallner Home Selling Team at 314-810-SOLD.
That's 314-810-SOLD.
KLGY HD3 Clay, K270BW Bellefonte, KNBS Bowling Green. This is News Talk STL at 1019, 94.1, and always streaming at NewstalkSTL.com.
Of satellite image analysis. A U.S. official told the Associated Press that the top secret documents appear to be legitimate. Greg Clugston, the White House.
An Israeli attack in Lebanon has killed several Lebanese National Army soldiers.
The Israeli military has apologized for a strike in southern Lebanon that killed 3 Lebanese soldiers, adding it struck a truck on Sunday that had entered an area where it had previously targeted a Hezbollah truck transporting a launcher and missiles. Israel's allies, war-weary residents of Gaza and others have expressed hope that Sinwar's death would pave the way for an end to the war. But both Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and Hamas have vowed to keep fighting until they achieve their goals. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
The presidential campaign in North Carolina is playing out in the aftermath of a devastating hurricane and a tumultuous governor's race. With 15 days until Election Day, North Carolina is critical to the Electoral College math for both Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump and Democratic candidate Kamala Harris. Cubans have taken to the streets in protests as widespread blackouts stretched into their 4th day. Their concerns have been heightened as Hurricane Oscar crossed the island's eastern coast with winds and heavy rain. On Wall Street, the Dow is down more than 220 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
The socialists who want to move into the White House have a lot of plans for your money. One of them is to control the price of food, and this is just the start. Could 401ks and IRAs be next on their agenda? It might sound far-fetched, but so did price fixing just months ago. Hi, Donald Trump Jr. here. If you've spent decades building your nest egg, you can act now to stop your savings from falling into the hands of the socialists. It's why Americans are turning to gold, the ultimate safe haven in uncertain times. To see how easy it is to diversify your retirement with gold, get a free info kit from my friends at Birch Gold. by texting the word prepare to 989898. Birch Gold makes it easy to roll over your 401k or IRA into gold while preserving your tax advantage status. Don't wait any longer. Protect your financial future now. Text prepare to the number 989898 for your free info kit from Birch Gold, the only gold company I trust.
If you think
This hour of News Talk STL brought to you by Chris Cooper and Serenity Wealth Management. Discover little-known strategies that could be the difference between choosing the care you deserve or having someone else decide it for you. Get a free copy of Chris's book at serenityltc.com. From the Michaels Flooring Outlet Weather Center.
I call this layers weather, as in jackets in the morning and shorts in the afternoon. In fact, the next couple of afternoons, pretty warm for mid-October. I've got us at 80 today with mostly sunny skies and a south wind at 5 to 10. Back down into the low 50s tonight and early Tuesday, and then even warmer tomorrow, 82 Tuesday afternoon. And believe it or not, a chance of rain tomorrow. Now, it looks pretty spotty, looks fairly light. Let's be ready for a couple of passing showers. That's your first alert forecast. I'm meteorologist Matt Chambers.
This hour, the Vic Porcelli Show, brought to you by Proctor Drapery Blinds and Shutters. Proctor, spelled like doctor. ProctorDrapery.com. Vic Porcelli.
Come on, you're Italian. You understand.
Every day is a busy day all of a sudden.
You talking to me? You talking to me?
Tough and smart, and I love Italian, so he's definitely Italian.
At least I have this show to come and talk about it and let some stuff up.
What kind of a show are you guys putting on here today?
The Vic Porcelli Show.
All right, another hour to go. Thanks to the great Ken Williams. Election Day, 2 weeks from tomorrow. Wow. Holy cow. We'll have, of course, all the coverage that you'll need. It's kind of like one-stop shopping for all your national and local election news and results, because we have Amendment 3 that we talked about earlier. We have Senate races. We have state senator races. We got a lot of stuff going on. All brought to you by Harry J. Steakhouse in Moscow Mills and Senior Memorial Life in Piccadilly Palace. Yeah,
awesome.
Let's go. The one and only Karen Kataline.
Did you know that I'm married to a trucker? I feel like using a Yiddish word, famished. Spoiling in front of my computer, I am. They're just too dumb to lie. He has the effect of 6 shots of scotch.
Good morning, Karen Kataline.
Good morning, Vic and Ken. How are you both?
Good.
Oh, great.
Godfather was on over the weekend. Had to watch that.
You could watch it wall to wall from sun up to sundown if you want to.
It's crazy.
Just never watch Godfather 3.
No. That's not
terrible.
good. But Godfather 2 is great as well. Maybe a better movie.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Well, I think they're both great, but I actually like Godfather 2 better.
The thing about Godfather 2 is I like the old scenes better than I like the carrying on of Michael Corleone.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, a lot of Italian.
Huh. I love Frankie Five Angels. That story.
Michael Gazzo got a Oscar nomination for that role.
Well, and he won a Pulitzer Prize for being a playwright. I forget what play he wrote, but
did not know
he was
that.
a playwright.
I want to run my family without you on my back, and I want those Rosato brothers dead.
Morta.
When he says it in Italian, it means so much more,
And I love when he goes, Change.
Yeah. Abort. Yeah, so good. All right, let's get serious here. Cut it out. So our 2 candidates for president. I know you like words, Karen.
Yes.
I'm going to give you a phrase at least.
Okay.
The people in this country who want you to vote for Kamala Harris, not because she's good, but just you're not voting for Donald Trump. I call it elitist egocentrism. What do you think about that?
Oh, it's excellent. And it's true.
Yeah. I mean, they've all fallen into the trap.
And, it's so funny. I had a little bit of a tete-a-tete with someone who, he's got Trump derangement syndrome. He's an attorney, which is not surprising. And all I could think to say, because he's so dug in his hate, he believes every lie, every piece of propaganda. All I kept saying is, you've bought it. You bought all the propaganda.
Yep.
And he wouldn't hear me out. There isn't any way that I could disabuse him. I heard him say this. I heard him say it. I heard him say it. Now, if you hear people on the left say something, they say, well, you're taking it out of context. They never give the benefit of the doubt to people they hate and despise.
Right.
And they can't see how biased and hateful they are. So that's one of the things I find so frustrating.
They also can't
is that-
see
yeah.
how elitist they are.
No, not at all. And sometimes I think the people that are attracted to that side, they are the people that are the most vulnerable to social pressure that our parents warned us about.
Yeah,
You
you're
know?
absolutely right. Peer pressure, yeah. So
Yeah.
Kamala likes to hang out with the elitists, and
Mm.
Trump, what did he do yesterday?
He likes-
He worked at McDonald's.
He worked at McDonald's.
What'd you think
Is
about
it true that he was at the football game last night?
Oh,
There
yeah.
was these rumors, and nobody showed it, but then people did, and then everybody started chanting USA, USA,
Right.
which the media would not report. Right?
Yeah, you're right.
Okay,
I mean,
he was there.
It's last night. My wife says to me, because we have like shows that we love to watch.
Yeah.
All the cooking stuff, all the Gordon Ramsay crap, and all that we have
Yeah.
to watch. But and she's so sick of football. She's like, "Is there anything on tonight besides football?" And I said, "No." I said, "But
Don't
let's
worry, it'll be over in another month and a half.
right."
You
Well,
won't
I
have
said,
to
"Let's
worry about
watch just to see if NBC shows Trump getting a big welcome in Pittsburgh." And you're right, they didn't. Today's show,
No.
nothing.
No,
And
no,
Karen,
nothing.
listen to this, Karen. That's like almost the whole stadium doing that.
It's an alternate reality.
It really is.
They are presenting one reality, and then there's the reality. And it just amazes me how gullible. I know I rant about that a lot.
It's okay.
Real quick as an aside, we're looking for new shows to watch too. Have you ever watched Blue Bloods?
No, I know I should, but the
No,
only
there's no shoulds in entertainment.
well, here's the thing. I had a friend. His name was Sam, and unfortunately I met him when he was in his 80s, and I used to go grocery shopping for him. And when I had nothing to do, I'd sit with him in his apartment, and we'd watch Rawhide and these gunslinger shows and Blue Bloods. He loved Blue Bloods, so I've seen a couple.
Really?
I've seen a couple of episodes.
Doggone thing is like 14 seasons already.
And it's funny, some of the Sopranos are in Blue Bloods. The guy who played the guy they shot in the forest, Mikey Palmisi, the actor who played him is in that. Anyway, I got too many
It
things
was
to
just
watch.
an aside because we've seen a few. We haven't seen anything binge worthy exactly, but I like watching things that I can feel fairly confident that I'm not going to be slapped in the face with leftist wokey garbage.
Yeah. So I want you to hear
know?
something, and I want to talk about it
Sure.
with you,
Okay.
because it really kind of shows who President Trump is.
I'm looking for a job, and I've always wanted to work at McDonald's. I never did. I'm running against somebody that said she did, but it turned out to be a totally phony story. So. President Trump! Well, that's a good-looking group. Hello, everybody. I'm having a lot of fun here, everybody. Let's take these over there.
So, first of all, he loves McDonald's. He's a Big Mac freak, as
I
am
know.
I. I love myself a good Big Mac. But the line of people that were lined up at that McDonald's went blocks and blocks and blocks, and that's another thing that they didn't show you on the television.
Yeah, Karen. I
They
mean,
never ever will.
No, Karen. That video that they show of people across the street, they weren't even at McDonald's.
Right?
They were standing there,
Just cheering for
They
him.
were 20 deep, and it could have been. It had to be at least a half mile long. I was telling Vic, I said, I saw that video they were showing about that, and I said, that's not real. That can't be. And then they said, yeah, they verified it. I said,
it
yeah,
is.
it is real. They
And-
showed
and-
McDonald's right after that.
Is funny. I never, ever have occasion to watch CNN, MSNBC, or anything unless I'm sitting in a restaurant and it's in front of me, which it happened to be the other day, whenever it was.
Yep.
And all they could talk about is how Trump made a vile, horrible comment and insulted Kamala Harris. And I thought, I don't even want to look it up or find it. But that was the whole story. He went to McDonald's and he insulted Kamala and he made a vile comment. So whenever they're criticizing Trump, they are the church lady. And then when they are worshiping Satan, all's okay.
Right, exactly right. And I love too that he was cramming the fries into the container way too many than you're supposed to.
And he narrated while you did it.
One lady says, I got in my 6-piece chicken McNugget meal, I got 7 pieces. Thank you, President Trump.
It's French fries socialism.
Exactly. Now listen to this. Listen to this lady who was originally from Brazil talking to President Trump at McDonald's.
A lot of fun here, everybody.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Look at all the fake news over there. Hello, everybody.
You can fake this,
And
right?
you know this is compliments of Trump, okay?
Yes, thank
Okay.
you. Mr. President,
Yes.
please don't let the United States become Brazil, my native Brazil.
We'll keep it
Please,
good.
Please.
We're going to make it better than ever, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's a pleasure, Mr.
Compliments
President.
of Trump.
Yes.
Have a good
He
time.
hit
Thank
the
you
door.
so much.
Thank you over there.
Oh my God.
Have a good time.
Thank
Nice
you.
to
You
see you.
too.
Bye,
Nice to
darling.
see you.
Have a
Don't-
good time. Thank you.
Bye, darling.
Don't
Bye,
let
darling.
this country become my country of Brazil. That's such an important statement
Or
from him.
Venezuela,
Right.
or so many other places. It's amazing how they have pettified. I think I made a new word.
I love it.
They
Write it
made
down, Ken.
everything petty. I don't know if pettified. It sounds like petrified. The whole left campaign has been to make petty important and to make important petty. Have you noticed?
Yeah.
It's like the big stuff they can't defend. They can't defend any of it. So they're going to focus on the dumbest, most absurd, petty nonsense. And they've lulled some people into the idea that they can be like the cat chasing the laser. Oh, look at this. Oh, look at that. Everything is a distraction. And oh, by the way, there's a communist who hates Israel running for president, but you just don't like Trump's hair. I mean, it's so stupid.
We're just talking about that. It's not that they like their candidate. They hate our candidate. That's no way to vote. That's no way to look at the future for our country.
Especially the people that have been lecturing everybody, I'm sorry,
No, it's all
about hatred. Put a big red line through hate. You're not supposed to hate, except always hate the people we tell you to hate.
Karen, you mentioned that the Today Show or one of them said that they were focusing on Trump saying that Kamala Harris was an S-word vice president. She was a crap vice president. That's what he was. That's what he said. But
He did say crap, or did he say?
No,
he said the good word.
He said the good word.
He said the good
Good, because he talks like real people do.
Exactly right. But Tim Walz actually, when he was just like a day before, had called something with Trump with the S word, but they didn't mention that.
Never. They feel good about those double standards. You can't shame somebody about being a hypocrite when they don't think being a hypocrite is a bad thing.
Say that again.
Wow.
You can't shame somebody about being a hypocrite when they don't think being a hypocrite is a bad thing.
That's exactly right. That's perfect.
And they're saying, it's for the greater good at the end where Trump will not be elected. That's why they can get away with all of it.
Justifies the means. And they don't, and the people who buy this garbage, like my friend, he's not a friend, they cannot see through the fact that all the chaos that they're blaming on Trump is chaos that they created and blamed on Trump.
Exactly.
All the unrest, all the hatred, the vitriol, the everything is what they created. If they just would have accepted that Donald Trump won the election in 2016 and be decent human adults, which they weren't, then of course Trump would have been the most popular president, maybe more than Reagan.
Yep. All right,
they would have left it alone.
Switch gears a little bit because I want to ask you, because you watch this stuff so closely, and even if you don't, you have a great
I try not
mind.
to, but it gets me.
There was a segment on CNN, and the topic was, and we have this problem in St. Louis where there's a shortage of police officers. Because nobody wants to be a police officer anymore because they're putting their safety and their freedom at stake, right?
Yes.
And so the guy mentioned the Ferguson effect. And this woman said, "No, don't. You're making stuff up. There's no Ferguson." He goes, "No, it's a thing. Ferguson effect." This lady actually wrote Ferguson effect in a piece in the Washington Post.
Oh my God!
Swear to God.
And she was just told that was a conspiracy theory
I don't
or
know.
something. It's not true.
How can it matter?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Darren
Well,
Wilson was the guy who shot Michael Brown,
Yes.
right, in Ferguson. I don't
Right.
know if he's okay. I don't know where he lives. I don't know if he's still law enforcement. And they ran him out of town, and he was acquitted of all charges.
uh, all of those events, which I think they call, and there's a name for it that they call, they're used to rile and incite the public into hatred and bias. That's the primary reason to use one incident as proof that America is a racist country, white people are all terrible, and that it's okay for you to hate and despise them and do anything you want to them to create unrest. It's another political tactic. Remember the Michael Brown incident?
Yeah.
The white Hispanic. They couldn't even find a decent example. They had to manufacture and massage it. I mean, they're basically encouraging people to be the opposite of unbiased and fair as you would in a court. Is look at one thing, look at it and broaden it out and use brash, broad generalizations to hate people who had nothing to do with it. Never mind that the case was misrepresented to begin with.
And George Floyd, too. I mean, somehow we made George Floyd a saint when you know how he died? He died from a drug overdose. He didn't die from Derek Chauvin's knee.
But the general public wouldn't know that because, again, the other part of the tactic is to make it cool to be on one side of the aisle and to be despised. If you want to be despised, point out what you just pointed out, that he was a drug addict. He was very, very high on whatever he was high on. And, go against the narrative. Yeah. I'll tell you another narrative. A whole book was written about Matthew. I forget his name. The gay guy in Cheyenne.
Yep.
That was an entire fraud. And to this day, the gay community holds him up as a victim of anti-gay hate. And it wasn't. It was a drug deal gone bad, but you're not allowed to say so.
It's elitist egocentrism.
Well, I think we ought to write that down.
I think we should too. We already wrote down Peckerville or what was the word you said?
I don't know.
What was that?
Pettified.
Pettified. I'm
going to have to work on that one. I'm not happy with that.
When that's okay. We can massage it until we get it just right.
That's right.
The whole Caitlin Clark thing in the WNBA, it really kind of shows that. Yeah, I'm sure there are plenty of white people in this country who are racist. I mean, we can't deny that. But nobody.
Yeah, but guess what? It's not a prosecutable offense. If you told other people that, they would think that you could actually prosecute a thought crime.
Right.
Yeah. If you want to be an ignoramus, moron, bigot, you get to be so and then take the consequences in this country. You would think that is a bigger crime than, murdering two people. Okay, go ahead.
No, it's fine. But the WNBA has shown that you can be black and be racist against white people.
Yeah,
Caitlin Clark had to deal with it her entire season, and she was so good. And these women who have been in the WNBA and have been taking commercial flights and they stay in bad hotels. Caitlin Clark shows up. They fly private. They stay in the greatest hotels. And they're still talking bad about Caitlin Clark and Charles Barkley, who, by the way, said he's voting for Donald Trump, said,
yay,
talking about the rest of the NBA, he goes, y'all petty. So
petty.
There you go.
They're pettified.
Y'all petty.
Well, good.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. Give him credit. Petty.
I will do that.
Petty.
well,
yeah. And the incitement, the irrational, bloodthirsty eyes, like the woman who went and totally attacked a Greek restaurant because she thought the Greek flag was an Israeli flag. And then she said, when she was told, we're Greek, she said, my bad.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
My bad.
I defaced your restaurant, but sorry about that. Yeah.
Never mind. Let me go do the same thing to a bunch of Israel restaurants who had nothing to do with your hate.
It's so bad.
Nothing.
It's so bad.
Irrational.
The left is so bad. They're so stupid. All right, Karen. The good news? We get to talk to you again on Thursday.
Oh my God. Can you stand it?
I can. If you must pry.
Okay.
I must.
I must.
Love you. Talk to you Thursday.
Take care. Bye.
All right. That's Karen Kataline. Find her at KarenKataline.com. I'm so glad we get to talk to you. Matthew Shepard, by the way, was the name she was trying to think of. The gay kid that they killed.
Oh, okay.
The folks they're talking about. All right, listen, coming up next, chat box, Ken, can we do that?
Oh, yeah.
And also, we play the hits all day here, right? So, a little chat box and a little something about today, okay? And to commemorate what today is, Jessica and I are going to the movies. We're going to the movies, Ken.
Oh, wow.
You know what it's like trying to get my wife to go to the movies?
Difficult?
Hates the movies.
Hates. Okay.
Hates the movies. But we're going tonight. I'll explain it all next on 101.9 and 94.1. News Talk STL. You know, they say that cat, Ken Williams, is a bad mother.
Shut your mouth.
I'm just talking about Ken Williams.
Like us on Facebook at News Talk STL. This is the real Kamala Harris.
And when we all sing happy tunes and sing Merry Christmas and wish each other Merry Christmas, these children are not going to have a Merry Christmas. How dare we speak Merry Christmas? How dare we?
The real Kamala Harris on the Vic Porcelli Show on News Talk STL.
Okay. So, if your love life is, it could use a little boost, maybe, Dr. John's has you covered, okay? Dr. John's has 3 locations in Fenton, Farmington, and Wood River, Illinois. And the thing about it is, it's you and your spouse, your partner, whatever you want to call the other person in your life, your significant other. It's all about you two, right? So when you walk into Dr. John's, guess what? It's still all about you two. And what kind of fun can you have? What kind of stuff can we do to spice things up a little bit, right? A full assortment of male and female enhancement supplements. They've got novelties, lingerie, videos. Video is a great way to just get things going, If you're looking for something out of the ordinary, Dr. John's has you covered. They're your one-stop shop destination to fulfill all those fantasies and add a little zing into the love life. 3 locations, Fenton, Farmington, and Wood River, Illinois. Their friendly, knowledgeable staff will take care of you, I promise. Make an appointment with the doctor, Dr. John's, and tell them News Talk STL sent you.
News Talk STL.
First thing in the morning and pretty much all day.
Live and local. 101.9 and 94.1. News Talk STL.
She learned the value of hard work and responsibility at her family's small business at an early age. Ann Wagner took those same hard-working Missouri values to Washington. She's made it her job to keep the radical left from harming your job. Today, in the midst of Joe Biden's out-of-control inflation, Ann Wagner protects us by working to lower costs for families. As a mother of 3, she understands the work and has done it to keep your home and community safe. That's why Ann Wagner fought to secure our border and stop traffickers from smuggling fentanyl and illegal immigrants into our communities, and why she gave law enforcement the tools they need to defend us. And Ann Wagner took a stand against the defund the police radicals who will leave us in harm's way. She'll always back our brave law enforcement officers, putting conservative values to work for us. Ann Wagner for Congress. Paid for by Ann Wagner for Congress.
I'm Ann Wagner, and I approve this message.
I'm Dr. TJ, owner of the Institute of Natural Health, co-owner of Optimal Nutraceuticals, and the host of Wellness 101. Wellness 101 is designed to cut through the nonsense and provide you common sense, science-based information regarding health and wellness. On the show, we discuss topics like thyroid health, gut health, hormone optimization, and many others. Our show airs Saturdays at 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. and Sundays at 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. right here on News Talk STL. For more information, visit us at inhstl.com. That's inhstl.com.
When it comes to the performance of your home, you can do it right and you can do it for less money at the same time. Mike Ferguson here from my friends at Window World. They are simply the best for less. Double strength glass windows, lifetime warranty. And now for the first time, they are offering 36 months, same as cash financing with approved credit. So give my friends right here in St. Louis a call today. Get that free in-home estimate. Once again, 314-993-1800.
I'm Susie Moore, and this is More to the Point.
Let's be honest about this. Not one of us had Donald J. Trump serves up hot and salty fries at Mickey D's on our bingo cards heading into this election season. But the former and hopeful future president has made other unconventional campaign stops this time around that seem to have worked well for him. Think Chick-fil-A in Atlanta, bringing pizzas to New York City firefighters, a barbershop in the Bronx, a rally in Coachella, California. And he's long been known to be a fan of the Golden Arches. So when Vice President Kamala Harris, in an apparent bid to pad a resume heavy on the government payroll and political appointment side and light on the middle-class street cred, claimed she had worked fries while in college, and when various attempts to dig up any corroboration of that claim produced nothing, Trump sensed an opportunity. Sunday, he made good on it and spent time at a Pennsylvania McDonald's learning how to cook and serve fries and bag them up to hand to drive-thru customers. The only people who seem not to be entertained by Trump's adventures in spud making are the sourpusses on the left who've forgotten how to have a sense of humor and are incensed at the notion of a candidate staging a campaign photo op. I say kudos to Donald McRonald on this one. Seems he found a way to turn those golden arches into a W.
Susie Moore is Deputy Managing Editor for RedState.com. For more to the point and everything Susie Moore, log on to RedState.com. Follow Susie on Twitter at SmoozyQ and keep listening to 1019 and 94.1 News Talk STL. The Allman Report.
Monday on the Allman Report, all the craziness from around the weekend. That's right, people. Monday, the Allman Report on News Talk STL.
Jamie Allman. Weeknights at 8 on News Talk STL. Talk lines are open now at 314-912-1019. The Vic Porcelli Show.
Now go home and get your shine box.
Made in St. Louis for St. Louis. It's News Talk STL.
All right. Welcome home to 1019 and 94.1 News Talk STL. Let's talk a little bit about music here for just a quick second, okay? The Ozark Mountain Daredevils are going to be at the great Family Arena, which, Ken, we have talked about so many times. Great place to see a show.
Oh, yeah.
Intimate yet big show at the same time. I don't know how they do that, but they do it well. Ozark Mountain Daredevils, Molly Hatchet and the Georgia Satellites, Saturday, March 1st. Get your tickets now at the Arena box office or at familyarena.com. Okay, Maestro, some chat box music, please.
Oh, and that's the wrong music. Hold on, we got to go there. This is it right here.
There we go. All right, let's do Facebook first here real quick. Good Monday morning, freedom fighters. GMFFBH, that means good morning, freedom fighting dickheads. Bank your vote for President Trump.
Yeah.
That brings me to another point. I think, did you hear Stell this morning on the show said if you bank your vote, you can follow your vote and make sure it gets processed the right way?
No, I didn't know that.
There's some kind of website you can go to, and your vote, you can follow along the line to see if it gets counted the right way.
Oh, that's great.
It's a great idea. So I think we're going to do that.
Yeah, I'm gonna try it tomorrow. I think it's the first day you can go vote early.
Yeah,
and I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, Jessica and I talked about it. I think we're gonna do that together. Good morning, freedom fighting Vic heads. Good morning, everyone. David Sylvester, my man. Time for all freedom fighters to order the Big MAGA burger.
Oh, that's awesome. That'd be great.
From McDonald's. Supersized. Trump 2024.
MAGA. The Mega MAGA.
The Mega MAGA. McMAGA. McMAGA.
That's it.
Love it. Ed's in. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. No fair election.
No peace.
No fair election.
No peace.
Ken, what if they cheat?
No peace.
No peace. Good morning, all you Mega MAGA, ultra-patriotic, deplorable, freedom-fighting, God-fearing, dickhead weirdos. Whew. You can't make that any longer. I don't think I can do it. That's it. McDonald's has now been renamed MAGADonald's. There we go. The fries are presidential. I swear he made me laugh so hard when he's stuffing the French fries into that cardboard thing.
And he was narrating the whole time.
And if Ken, you're at McDonald's drive-thru. The window opens. It's President Trump.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? I would lose my mind.
And somebody on MSNBC said, "Oh, they were all pre-selected people." No, we don't do that.
They do that.
They do that. Yeah.
But when he was shoving those French fries in there, I was laughing my ass off. I seen one of those on my way into work this morning, scanning the freshly combined fields. I don't know what that is. I'm so sorry. Just a couple of winters ago.
Eagle.
Oh, eagles.
An eagle, yeah.
Ah, I got it. Okay. Sorry, my bad. Just a couple of winters ago, I saw a pair of baldies. That's a cool way to say bald eagle, I guess.
Right.
Baldies. Cruising slowly over the intersection of Clarkson and Manchester. Wow.
Oh, wow.
At a very low altitude. Awesome sight. Can I tell you something? Eagles, if you see one in the air flying, but when you're right next to it and it spreads those wings.
Yeah, he got off balance a little bit, and all of a sudden he opened up all of his wings all the way, and I'm like, whoa!
It was majestic.
I think Ethan got a picture of that. If so, we're gonna try and put it up too.
Ed says, "Are eagles here year round?" I don't know the answer to that question. I know it's a big deal in Alton. You go up there and watch the eagles.
Sounds like a missed question.
Yeah. Are they in the same family as hawks? Hawks and eagles. Answer that question. Hawks and eagles are the same family, different genera. Okay, I should pay attention in school somewhere. Donald McDonald.
Donald McDonald.
Yes, eagles are here year round, but there are more of them here in the winter. Maybe these people should do the show. I should just go. Yeah?
No.
God, it turns on you so quickly, doesn't he? Who? LOL? I don't know. Joe Biden. Thanks for that info, SNL. When Maya Rudolph does Kamala Harris, he calls Joe Biden.
Yeah, I was listening. I could hear her. She's good.
Yeah, she's great.
For Kamala. I mean, she did a great voice of hers.
Yep. Great impression.
I thought it was hers. I thought it was Kamala Harris.
Because the ridiculous stuff is something she would say anyway.
Yeah.
That's why it's so easy. It's so hard to figure it out. I don't know a single person who has said climate change isn't real, ever. Well, our argument is that taxing the wealthy is a scam and will never change the climate. I saw a meme over the weekend that said, why did Noah build an ark? Why didn't he just pay higher taxes to fight climate change?
Well, sure.
Had an eagle circle grain bins last week. The noise and dirt didn't bother it. It was with turkey vultures. I've seen that before. Leftists can't even figure out what they want to call it. Vic, this is looks serious. Vic, I've always had big dogs. Oh, when I was worried about Sweeney and Chino getting picked up by a hawk in my backyard. Vic, I've always had big dogs. Never even considered hawks until we got a Pomeranian. Yep, me too. Hawk couldn't carry him off, but could kill or severely harm him. A great horned owl could carry him off, though. Wow.
Yeah. We have owls in Afton, and I worry about that with my little dog.
An eagle probably could too, it says. God, that woman is reprehensible. I believe he's talking about Kamala.
I believe.
You'll be out of work until we find you a spot in the camp. Because they're saying, Donald Trump's going to put you in a camp, going to send you away to camps.
Right.
That means they probably are going to.
Yeah, well, what they'll do is, she called it transitioning, from the insurance company people. Right. Yeah, we're going to transition you. We'll put you in a camp and then make you learn to do something else.
Right. Duke's in the house. Wow, the UK Labour Party is sending staffers to campaign for Harris. What?
Yeah.
They want our country to come down to their level, which is failure. London is on fire. Italy is on fire.
Italy's, yeah.
With illegal immigrants. They're feeling our pain right now.
Right.
All right, that's all the time we have for the chat box. If I missed you, I'm sorry. I'll make it up to you somehow. I don't know. Oh, Ken, what do I hear? You know what today is?
What?
Today is Back to the Future Day.
Oh.
On 10/21/2015, that was the last date in the Back to the Future movies. So everything that happened after 10/21/2015 was in the past.
Wow, okay.
Does that make sense?
It totally makes sense, but you have to think about it for a second.
Yeah. So, a couple things. First of all, Jesse and I are going to the movies tonight in Chesterfield to see Back to the Future 2.
Awesome.
Which is going to be on the big screen. Wow. Back to the Future 2 is my favorite of the trilogy. I don't know why. I just love the darkness of the Biff world. Biff gets the Gray Sports Almanac. And so we're going to go to see the movies to see that. And also, tomorrow, we drop a new Porcelli's Deli podcast, the uncensored podcast that we do.
Yeah.
Kenny and I record that on Monday, and then we release it on Tuesday. So tomorrow, and it's so close to Back to the Future Day. This is great. I have found a little problem in the space-time continuum.
Oh, you have?
I have.
Wow.
Did you watch it? You didn't.
No.
I knew you wouldn't. I call Ken and say, hey, make sure you watch Back to the Future 3, okay? Yeah, okay.
But I know. I've seen it.
Okay. Well, that'll be the topic of tomorrow's Porcelli's Deli Uncensored. That's all I want to say about that. That's brought to you by Dr. John's, by the way. When we come back, maybe not, Doug Blair stiffed us last week. Mr. Big Shot Harris polling guy.
Yeah.
Is he going to be here?
Should be.
All right. He's next on 101.9, 94.1 News Talk STL. Number one for live and local conservative talk.
Like and subscribe to us on Rumble. News Talk STL. This is the real Kamala Harris.
We're wondering, though, what could you accomplish in a second term that you haven't already done now?
Well, to get there, we're going to require everyone to vote to understand what's at stake right now. And that is no small matter to make sure that we are present. And I intend to travel around our country to remind people of what's at stake and that their voice will matter and will be expressed through their vote in many other ways. But we have to first get there. So I want to emphasize that point.
The real Kamala Harris on the Vic Porcelli Show on News Talk STL.
That's their entire thing. She didn't answer the question. Just vote for me. It'll be fine. Do you remember when Nancy Pelosi held up the Affordable Care Act, and she said she had it's like 7,000 pages. Well, you have to pass it to see what's in it.
Right. Yeah. That's exactly all they do.
It's the same thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Vote for me, and then you'll find out that you're screwed. Okay. One of my favorite people on the planet is Chris Cooper from Serenity Wealth Management. And it's funny that we were having a discussion about advanced directives at home, my wife and I, because there is a situation that she knows about, a friend of hers, a friend of a friend, and the woman has an advanced directive of a do not resuscitate, DNR, right? But you have to have that documentation. You have to bring that documentation and show the hospital. Otherwise, they'll just keep this person alive against their wishes.
Yeah.
So last time Chris was here, he was here with Kevin Vitale, his lawyer buddy, and he said it's a very important thing to do. I want to do not resuscitate. I want a DNR. Just let me go. Get out of here. Get out of my ass. So Chris works with you to find out how to keep your money through tax-efficient solutions. We talked about long-term care. This is another example of long-term care. Plus, he also wants to know when you leave money to somebody, it's not just like R.K. Maroon in Who Framed Roger Rabbit, where you can leave everything to the tunes and disappearing, reappearing. It's the will. You can't do that. You got to go to a lawyer and get it done. Also, I want to invite you tomorrow and Thursday, two great things happening at Stone Summit in Wentzville with Chris Cooper. He'll be there talking about everything we talk about in a very fun way. And don't forget, November 7th is the Yellowstone Social.
That's right.
With Chris Cooper at his office in Lake St. Louis. So get his new book. It's called The New Holistic Retirement at SerenityNowTax.com. That's SerenityNowTax.com. Serenity Now with Chris Cooper.
Investment advice offered through Fortis Capital Advisors.
Serenity Now! Free speech is alive and well in America.
Thanks for taking my call.
Right here.
My point about the governor there, it is absolutely about power.
I read this, I almost fell out of my chair.
News Talk STL.
This thing is just absolutely dripping with iron.
News, analysis, opinion.
If you're considering an annuity as part of your retirement plan, we need to talk. Hi, I'm Bob Stockdale, Senior Vice President Investments with the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel and host of On the Money Saturday mornings at 9 on News Talk STL 1019. Annuities can be a useful tool for some retirement investors, but not all annuities are created equal. Every week, we meet clients who own complex annuities that don't suit their needs and, in some cases, actively undermine their retirement plan. Before you purchase an annuity, get a second opinion from the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel. Requesting a consultation is free of charge. To request a free consultation, contact us at clearpathinvesting.com. That's clearpathinvesting.com, or call us at 636-695-2650. That's clearpathinvesting.com or 636-695-2650. Stifel Nicholas and Company Incorporated, member NYSE and SIPC.
Epic STL is always on the lookout for highly motivated, goal-oriented, results-driven people to add to our growing, winning team of sales and content professionals. 101.9 and 94.1 News Talk STL is a locally owned and operated venture of Epic STL. Apply to be a part of our creative, fun, and rewarding work environment by simply going to the Connect tab on NewstalkSTL.com and click on Application. Epic STL and News Talk STL are equal opportunity employers.
The Herzog Tomorrow Foundation provides private school tuition scholarships through Missouri's new Most Scholars program to cover the cost of accessible, high-quality schooling.
Hi, this is Mayela Esser with the Herzog Tomorrow Foundation. Our private school tuition scholarships wouldn't be possible without the support of generous Missouri taxpayers. If you're a Missouri taxpayer interested in redirecting your tax dollars and sending them to Missouri students in need of a better education, please contact me at herzogmostscholars.org.
Better education for students creates a better tomorrow for all. Learn how you can help provide a better education for Missouri students at herzogmostscholars.org. That's herzogmostscholars.org. Also, sign up for The Lion, an initiative of the Herzog Foundation that carries articles covering a wide range of issues facing American families and culture. herzogfoundation.com. That's herzogfoundation.com.
You know grit when you see it, and Robert Crump's got plenty of it. A Navy veteran, Crump is steady, unshakable, always pushing forward for Missouri. Pro-Second Amendment, Crump knows you have the right to defend yourself, your family, and property against violent criminals. Like the mighty Mississippi, Crump doesn't waver. He stands firm to protect your freedoms. Send Robert Crump, Republican for State Senate District 1 to Jeff City. Strong, unyielding, fighting for you. Robert Crump.
Paid for by Crump for State Senate 2024. Chris Clark, Treasurer.
Fox News commentary.
A new FTC rule will make it easier to cancel unwanted subscriptions and memberships. I'm Tommy Lahren. More next.
You can live out your MasterChef dreams when you find a professional on Angie to tackle your dream kitchen remodel. Connect with skilled professionals to get all your home projects done well. Inside to outside, repairs to renovations. Get started on the Angie app or visit Angie.com today. You can do this when you Angie that.
You have memberships or subscriptions, you know it can be a real pain in the butt to cancel them and their reoccurring charges once and for all. In fact, it's such a hassle. Many consumers are stuck paying for services they no longer use or want, and in this economy, we can't afford it. So I'll give the FTC some credit for tackling the issue. The FTC finalized a proposal called Click to Cancel that requires companies to make it as simple to cancel a subscription as it was to sign up for it in the first place. The rule also requires companies to ensure customers know and acknowledge what they're signing up for. The language must be clear and concise. This new rule will eliminate the endless hoops we have to jump through to get these unwanted money sucks off our bank statements. Companies that violate these new guidelines will be subject to redress and civil penalties. And while I'm not generally a fan of government regulation, in this case, well, I'm all for it. I'm Tommy Lahren, and you can watch my show, Tommy Lahren is Fearless, at Outkick.com.
This hour, The Vic Porcelli Show, brought to you by Proctor Drapery Blinds and Shutters. Proctor, spelled like doctor. ProctorDrapery.com. Talk lines are open now at 314-912-1019. The Vic Porcelli Show.
Smitty Werbin Jagerman Jensen.
Sure, did I suffer the pressure?
Smitty Werbin Jagerman Jensen.
No, he doesn't involve our institution.
I just...
See no loss. See no so long as
Made in St. Louis for St. Louis. It's News Talk STL.
All right, just a quick thing here real quick. Only 13 days until the AmVet Smoking for Veterans Barbecue Bash at Clancy's Irish Pub in Ellisville. It's November 2nd, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Come on out and help the veterans and have some delicious food. Oh, and Susie says she's voting on Wednesday. Okay.
Awesome.
I think that's it. Let's do the East Coast report.
This just in. For the latest news from the DC swamp and beyond, this is the Vic Porcelli Show East Coast Report with Douglas Blair on News Talk STL.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Douglas Blair from Harris X Polling. How you doing, buddy?
Oh, I'm doing great. I don't know if you heard the news, but our baby was born last week, safe and sound. He's doing great, just crying up a storm.
So that's why you missed the show last week?
I'd say that's a pretty good reason.
Yeah,
no, not really. Not
pretty
at
darn
all.
good reason.
I don't.
Congratulations,
No, I'm
Doug,
kidding.
to you
Boy,
and your
girl,
wife.
give us some deets.
Thank you. So he was born on Tuesday at 7:30 a.m. He was 7 pounds 15 ounces,
Wow,
22 inches long.
Wow.
Yes, no, he was a big boy.
Congratulations, Doug. Is this your first?
I much appreciate it, guys. This is my first, yeah. So I'm starting the journey into fatherhood.
Good. It's great. Nothing better. I swear to God, nothing better.
And Doug, I don't know if you felt
Very
this.
exciting.
I don't know if you felt this, but we talked about this on the air. With my first daughter, we were walking out. It was snowing and everything. We got her in the car, and I looked at my wife and said, "Where's the instruction manual?" And I was not kidding. and she goes, "What are you talking about?"
I got this dad joke handbook in the mail, but I haven't gotten the actual fatherhood instruction manual. I'm still waiting on that one.
All right. So 30 seconds, and then we'll get into everything. When I was young,
sounds good.
I was okay. I was not a good kid. I wasn't a bad kid. I was somewhere in between.
Yeah.
But I used to stay out pretty late, and my father would be waiting awake until I got home. You know.
Wow.
And I would say, what are you worried about? Just go to bed. He goes, you'll understand. When you're a father,
Yeah.
you'll understand.
Yeah.
And the second my son Chris was born, I knew exactly what he was talking about.
Yep.
It's crazy.
You just get it.
It's when you care about somebody more than yourself, Doug. All right, let's get into some facts, some polling. I don't know if polling is facts anymore. Any major shift you've seen from the big McDonald's appearance from yesterday?
Well, so we haven't seen anything specifically from the McDonald's shift, but we have been seeing momentum going in Trump's direction. I think what I had been saying a lot earlier on in the cycle, that the Harris momentum could not last. It just simply could not survive the weight of her immense failure. I think that's starting to pan out, because we're looking at her numbers in a lot of different swing states: Arizona, Nevada, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Michigan, and they're all going in the wrong direction, right? I think that a lot of the assumptions that people were making about, say, and Walsh being a really good pick for VP are just not working. He also has this issue wherever he opens his mouth, something scandalous comes out, or he just lies or says something like that. So I think the American people, the more they're getting exposed to Harris, the more they're showing in the polls their displeasure with her.
You know, there was a joke on Friday that said that Kamala Harris did so bad in that interview with Brett Baer that Tim Walz wanted to shoot himself, but he couldn't load his gun.
Well, I mean, I guess Harris could have done it with her own gun, but she still has to take it out of the packaging.
Her Glock. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
So do you get into, and we'll get into demographics here in a second, Doug, but do you get into, when you call people, do you think that this is a free and fair election? Is that one of the questions that you ask people?
There are concerns about, well, what we ask is, do you feel like the election will be on the up and up? Something along the lines. I don't remember the exact wording that we use, but we do ask about election integrity. And people generally, as a rule, seem to think that the elections will be fair. The question is, though, is that the reality? And of course, as you and I know, there are certain irregularities that could pop up. We've discussed Pennsylvania a number of times. We've discussed certain voting machines in Maricopa County, Arizona. We've discussed that there are, in fact, places where these types of meddling and chicanery can happen. Of course, you know, we're both very close with the Heritage Foundation. They have a report on this. They have an election fraud database that indicates this is not something that we're making up. That being said, it does not appear that the majority of Americans are concerned with that type of stuff happening. We do ask questions about disinformation, about misinformation, about meddling from foreign powers. And for whatever reason, the narrative from the mainstream media about Russian interference has actually stuck with a lot of Americans. And there are large swaths of Americans who think that is a concern.
So how about this for a question? I mean, I know you guys know what you're doing, but, you know, I think about things, and then I wonder, well, what do people think about that? Do you, or can you, ask a question of, do you think that it has to rise to the level of widespread voter fraud to shut things down and start again? That's the Democrats. There's no evidence of widespread voter fraud. Well, why does it have to be widespread? Do you ever
right
pose a question like that?
Yeah, no, I think that would be a good question to ask, because I am curious as well to see what Americans do think about the necessity or the ubiquitousness of election fraud. As I mentioned before, that voter fraud database indicates that there are multiple elections that are decided by 5, 10, 15 votes, where if you do stuff the ballot box with just a couple extra ballots, or you make it so that a certain number of ballots do not make it to the ballot box, wow, you've just shifted the election. So again, I've been very clear that I'm not entirely convinced that there was wide-scale, massive voter fraud in the 2020 election. However, that being said, we have both discussed on this program that there were absolutely irregularities in swing states like Pennsylvania that absolutely should be examined, and there should be laws and restrictions put into place to ensure that those irregularities do not happen again.
The widespread voter fraud argument is like saying, well, we don't have too many murders. It's not widespread murder.
Right.
There are murderers.
Let's wait till it's widespread before we start prosecuting murderers.
Yeah, right.
The J.D. Vance interview with, I believe it was CNN, where the reporter said, well, there's only a handful of apartment buildings in Aurora, Colorado that have been taken over by Venezuelan gangs. Just a couple. Not a big deal.
And they moved to Texas now? Not moved, but expanded the Venezuelan gangs?
Well, in Chicago, too.
Yeah.
Well, I got to tell you, I'm glad that this administration is concerned with minority business owners owning property. I think that this is a wonderful indication that the Biden administration cares about our Latino brothers and sisters.
Yep. It's just crazy. All right, so let's get into the demographics here. Let's just talk about male and female. Overall, if the election were held today, how does it look?
Again, I think this is a trend that we're starting to see really pan out as the election gets closer and people are more comfortable with saying who they're going to vote for. We're finding that men are increasingly moving towards Donald Trump, regardless of race, age, demographic group. It's pretty much a sweep in that direction. Women are, by a larger margin, moving towards Kamala Harris based on what we've seen is their number one issue, abortion. It seems to me that this is going to be an election where if they can pull out more women based on the abortion issue, they will win. But if men are able to be pulled out based on economic issues, inflation, the border, crime, sort of a potpourri of other programs, then Trump will win this. But I mean, if this was decided explicitly by sex, Kamala would win if only women voted, and Trump would win if only men voted.
So, Doug, the overriding issue normally for decades with suburban women has been security, has been lower crime,
not abortion,
not abortion. But and I get it. I get the polling and all that good stuff because I've got family members who believe the same thing. But they're willing to go into the booth and vote differently. They'll say it. They'll say exactly what you're saying. They'll poll exactly what you're saying. But then they're going to go in that booth and say, you know what? I'd rather be secure and I'd rather be safe. And so I'm voting Trump. And then come back out and say, Ken, abortion's a big issue,
Sure. Well, Ken, you're absolutely right, too, that this is an issue that pollsters, including ourselves, have been finding very difficult to account for, which is the shy voter theory, which is, one, you're either too embarrassed or shy or afraid of consequences to admit that you're voting Republican, or you feel as if, I have to socially say that abortion is a really big deal. But then, like you said, you go into the voting booth, you pull the lever based on safety and security, and you come out and you say, well, I voted on abortion, and that was what mattered most to me. I mean, again, at the end of the day, the only way we are going to figure out who won this thing is when we find out post-election day who is the president. That being said, what we can look at is strong indicators based on voter registration, based on what seems to be the most salient issue in the minds of voters, and those appear to be abortion for women, inflation, the border, and crime for men. And I mean, again, if you poll certain numbers of people from either side into your camp, which is, a lot easier for Donald Trump in places like Pennsylvania and Wisconsin, I think he pulls it out.
All right. We'll find out. Douglas Blair from Harris X Polling. We'll talk next week. We're getting close. Thank you so much, everybody.
All right, sounds good, guys.
All right, man.
See you, Doug.
Thank you so much for having the record player on at night to listen to us this morning.
Make sure you have the record player on at night.
Tomorrow will be 2 weeks to Election Day.
Yes.
Holy cow. Bongino's next on News Talk STL.
Stay strong, everybody.
Attention thrill seekers and fun lovers. Did you know the Midwest's largest wooden roller rink is right here in Missouri? Welcome to Piccadilly Palace, your ultimate family entertainment destination. Glide across our massive skating floor, conquer arcade challenges, put your way through mini golf, and dive into cutting-edge virtual reality experiences. And coming soon, a relaxing bar and grill patio, state-of-the-art golf simulators, and heart-pounding two-story go-kart racing next to East Central College in Union, Missouri. Plan your visit now at PiccadillyPalace.com. That's PiccadillyPalace.com.
Hey, beverage enthusiasts, it's time to stock up and save at Save On Liquor and Wine, Twin Oaks. This October, we're rolling out the biggest sale of the year. Premium whiskeys, fine wines, tasty tequilas, smooth vodkas, you name it, we got it on discount. Whether you're celebrating, relaxing, or impressing, Save On is your one-stop shop for all things liquid refreshment. 1142 Merrimack Station Road or online at savonliquor.com. Save On Liquor and Wine, Twin Oaks, where great moments begin with a perfect pour.
Craving farm fresh goodness since 1997? Anthony's Produce is your one-stop autumn wonderland. We're talking pumpkins bigger than your head, mums so hearty they'll outlast your mother-in-law's visit, and straw bales perfect for decorating. Need firewood? They'll deliver enough to keep you toasty till the cows come home. Plus, fruit and veggie trays so fresh they'll make your taste buds do a happy dance. Anthony's Produce in the heart of St. Peter's. Check him out at anthonysproduce.com and tell him News Talk STL sent you.
Tony Colombo here for Zero Res, the cleaning pros we trust with our home, and the team bringing you a great offer for the month of October. Book a cleaning this month and mention the Colombo special, and you'll get 3 rooms of carpet cleaned starting at just $129. Plus, you can take $75 off an air duct cleaning. Don't let the germs hiding in your home haunt your family. Call Zero Res now and take advantage of this scary good deal. Just mention the Colombo special when you call 314-474-2020 or when you book online at ZeroResSTL.com.
Jewels on Hampton and St. Louis Hills is paying some of the highest prices on gold, silver, diamonds, semi-precious colored stones, coins, flatware, and fine watches on site. Jewels on Hampton is a premier jeweler featuring Alvanza's jewel art designs with an exquisite selection of diamonds, semi-precious stone jewelry, and vintage watches. Their expert design team can restyle your jewelry to today's contemporary style. They also do jewelry and watch repair. Need extra cash? Jewels on Hampton is paying some of the highest prices on gold, silver, diamonds, semi-precious colored stones, coins, flatware, and fine watches. Bring in your collectibles and clocks and sports memorabilia and figurines too. Jewels on Hampton, 4506 Hampton, just 3 blocks south of Chippewa, and jewelsonhampton.com. Call them at 314-752-5000, 314-752-5000, and jewelsonhampton.com.